This man named John Jonas had entered a gar near Utah Lake with the intention of exploring. During the search, he decided that he would make a new record by going into the narrowest place of the gar. Little did he know that this decision would be the last of his life. A decision is about to be taken. He was moving ahead in the narrow paths of this gar, known as Nutty Putty, but after losing his way, he accidentally entered a part of the gar where no one had gone till date, a place as narrow as a grave, in which it was difficult to even breathe, let alone move a hand, and unfortunately, in this condition, John got stuck upside down. This is the story of 26-year-old John Jonas, whose last 27 hours of his life were spent in this gar. Once again, welcome in the videos of informative World Watch TV. There are small rocks near Salt Lake City, Utah, inside which this beautiful hydrothermal cave is present. It was discovered for the first time in 1960 by a man named Dale Green, and since then, thousands of young people have come here to showcase their skills. The Nutty Cave started coming to take the test. It is quite famous because of its narrow, slippery, and crooked paths, in which there is only one way to go inside, and that too only 30 inches wide. That is, only those youth whose waist and chest are less than 30 inches. You can go inside it. Every year, about 20,000 people come here to hone their skills. But then, between 1999 and 2004, some accidents happened here, and then a lot of questions were raised about the safety of gar. On one occasion, a 23-year-old young Nutty Putty Cave was trapped in the depths for half an hour, and on another occasion, a young man remained stuck upside down in the cave for the whole night. Due to these accidents, the authorities closed Nutty Putty Cave in 2006. But professional cavers said that if it has to be closed, then it should be closed only for those people who have no experience of caving, because often only those people get trapped here. On the other hand, the officials said that Nutty Putty Cave is no less than a time bomb, which can take someone's life at any time. Professional. The battle for the cave continued between the caves and the officials, and finally, in 2007, it was reopened with new rules. A management committee was formed which will allow only those people to go inside the cave who have good experience in caving, and those who also have professional equipment had to apply for a permit 21 days in advance to go to Nutty Putty, and for the same permit, two brothers, John and Josh Jonas of Salt Lake City, also applied. On November 24, 2009 at 8 p.m., 26 brother-in-law John Jonas entered the Nutty Putty Cave system with his group. Both the brothers had some previous experience, but they were going into Nutty Putty for the first time. Everything remained normal for an hour after entering the cave, in which they had the biggest explored the cavity which is called Big Slide. This was the point when Josh and two other friends took the risk of going deep into the cave, i.e. the most difficult part of the cave, which is called Birth Canal. Birth Canal is so narrow that even today, very few people have gone near it. Not only it is very narrow, but it is also very difficult to find the way. Many people were stuck on the way to the birth canal, but John, his brother, and two friends were quite fit, and that is why they decided to go to the birth canal. It was decided that while the rest of the team members remained behind, the idea of going to the birth canal was actually John's. That is why he was ahead of them all. The path was so narrow that John was wringing on his stomach, thinking that he would go to the birth canal, when he unknowingly takes a wrong turn and goes down a path called Screw, was a place where only the narrowest caves could go. If you look at Gar's map, it was the path where John had to go. He had to go towards the right birth canal, whereas he took a left turn. As he moved ahead, the path started getting narrow, and now he could not turn back. But he kept moving forward in the hope that maybe the path ahead would be a little wider and he would reach there. Ahead, he saw a gap at the bottom, and here, John thought that maybe he would be able to turn back from here. Here the matter got worse, because unfortunately, when he entered this 10 by 18 inches path, there was a dead end ahead. It was the end. And now John was stuck upside down in a space the size of a washing machine. Head down, his legs up, and the space was so tight that even his hands were getting pressed into his body, meaning he was not able to even use his hand. Tried to get out, but did not get success even once. Now at this time, John started calling his brother. After a few minutes, when Josh came there, he saw only John's leg. First, he made fun of his brother's condition. But when he realized the serious condition, Josh also got scared. Josh held his brother's legs and pulled them several times, but this made the matter worse because now John went down too much. John was stuck upside down and did not move his body at all. At this point, both brothers felt they needed professional help. Now the issue was that there was no mobile signal in this depth of the garage to call 911, so Josh had to come out and make the call and go back to his place. Reached brother's location? After about 3 hours, the first rescue team reached the spot. It was Susie Matola who tried to get John out for 2 hours, but John was trapped worse than they expected. The space was so tight that Susie John's jeans were also cut so that 1.5 centimeter more space could be found. Even this did not work. Eventually, Susie also got exhausted and came back outside. John's wife, his daughter, and 30 people from the rescue team had also reached there. They were considering various methods of getting him out, one of which was to cut his legs. But ultimately, they all agreed on the use of ropes and a pulley system that would be tied to John's legs and pulled. But the issue was that various police perfect. Drilling has to be done in the gar stones in such a way that the ropes do not hit the stones and the entire load is on the pulley. The pulley was started by drilling in the gar stones in which there was a danger that the stones may break and block the path. But at the moment, there is no other there was no option. During drilling, some stones broke and slid and fell on John. Doing this work at a depth of 700 feet was not only very difficult, but also very time-consuming. Due to the narrow path at the top, only one rescue was done at a time. The worker could have gone inside. The number of rescue workers was now more than 100, but all of them were unable to do anything, and a doctor present in the rescue team made the matter serious when he told that because John was upside down. If he is trapped, he has only 10 hours. That is, after this time, his organs will fail one by one. The human body is made to remain upright, in which the location of the heart is in the upper part of the body. The heart pumps the entire body, supplies blood, and at about 80 blood is supplied to the lower parts where the supply reaches easily with the help of gravity. But because now John is upside down, his heart has to work harder to pump blood upwards to the body at 80. The doctor said that due to this, John could have a heart attack at any time. After knowing this, the rescue workers tried harder to at least straighten John. After waiting for hours, the police set up and pulled John by his legs, but soon they ran into new problems as John's legs were in such a position that they were unable to bend, and when they pulled his legs, his feet would touch the roof of the garage. Well, with great difficulty they took John out of the pit, but at the last moment a pulley slipped through the wall of the pit, and now John was stuck back where he was before. John was now getting quite panicky, and then the two-way communication system came on. He was sent inside so that he could talk to his wife and relax him. This method worked, and John got better to a great extent. Finally, after 19 hours, the preparations for pulling John again were complete. This work had to be done very carefully, because there was a lot of pressure on John's legs with each pull. With great difficulty this time, he was taken out to a great extent, so much so that now the rescue worker could see his face. The rescue worker later told, John's eyes were red, and there were moments of happiness on his face. For the first time in the last 19 hours, John was able to see out of that narrow passage-shaped pot. Now only one last pull was needed, and John would have completely come out of that pot. Then suddenly, there was a shock. The pulley failed again, and John got stuck back in the same place where he had been stuck for the last 20 hours. in the last attempt to save John Jonas, an attempt was made to break the stones by drilling them. Perhaps it was too late. John had stopped moving and was not responding to anything. His wife also tried to revive John on the radio, but to no avail. 10:32. At this point, a brave paramedic had to take John's pulse. What everyone suspected happened. John Jonas was declared dead at 11:50 hours on the 25th November 2009. John's wife couldn't believe the news that her husband died because of such a small mistake. She was in the hope that perhaps the pulse in the leg might not have been checked properly, and her husband was still alive and he was in front of everyone. But what the doctors had expected after just 10 hours was John's good health. 11:10. Because of this, Majid was able to stay alive for 17 hours. Many plans were made to take out John's dead body, in which the idea of taking out the body in 2 parts was also floated, but ultimately it was decided to leave the body there and dig up the entire body. John's grave should be closed forever, and John's grave should be declared. 11:31. Even today, John Jonas's dead body is present in the same position inside Nutty Putty Gar, as a reminder of the danger of cave exploration and outside the Gar, in his memory. There's also a plaque put up. I hope you all will like and share this video of informative World Watch TV. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.